So Vince McMahon and company have a new edict for who they hire in the company in order to become professional wrestlers. And it's concealed screen what the properties that they want are. These are the checklists they want, which is the same thing they've always wanted essentially, but they gone back on the word. They never wanted someone who's small. They never wanted someone who's older. They always wanted someone who's pretty. This is the same shit they've always wanted. This is nothing different. The problem with this edict is that it's impossible to get who you want exactly all the time. You can't, okay, look. In the box office world, there's a very small handful of people who are tall and good looking at the same time, who happen to be very young. Tom Holland is one thing in Hollywood. Yeah, I said thing. He's not particularly tall. He's just thin, and he's a cute looking boy. And he's a box office attraction for sure. But other than that, you can't really find a lot of people in the industry, wrestling industry, who are this. In order to be a good professional wrestler who gets over with the crowd, you need multiple things all at the same time. Roman Reigns is tall. He is a good-looking guy. He does kind of have box office presence. His acting skills are not that great, but it could be better. Certain roles, he's okay. He can take a bump okay, pretty good. Which is, overall there, you can push that. Most of the wrestlers on Vince's roster are not particularly the best looking kind of person that Hollywood would like, per se. But like, Roman Reigns he has Hollywood good looks enough. That's fine. You can say that part. John Cena does, obviously, because he's in Hollywood. I saw that a mile away. I saw that a million years ago. Edge has Hollywood appeal. Randy Orton has Hollywood appeal. Like all the people that you would expect have Hollywood appeal do. Miz does. I think Miz can be somebody in Hollywood if he wanted to. He had multiple Marine movies. That's another story. John Morrison does not. Even though he has great looking abs, doesn't mean you're like a good looking actor for the ladies. He can be supporting character, but I don't see him being a leading guy in Hollywood that people want to go there and see just because John Morrison's name is on the cover or whatever. It doesn't really work that way. So like, I've been looking at the independent scene, like in GCW and in SJW, not SJW, that's something else. In Stardom, Shimmer, NJPW. NJPW's rosters hasn't really changed that much since I stopped watching for about a year or so. I went back and watched it about 2 weeks ago, and their roster has not changed that much. I've barely seen anybody new on there. It's very strict on how you get in that door. Very, very strict. Always has been, always will be. So, I don't see a lot of people around in the industry that's like that. So, if the edict is all this stuff, my bet is that they want to hire basically nobody. You can't be young, tall, good-looking, be able to take a lot of bumps, be able to shine in the ring with amazing moves, and have charisma flowing out of you. Those are extremely rare. The Rock had that. Rock's moveset wasn't really that good, but his charisma just trumped everything else. He was able to sell the moves he can do without actually making him look dangerous. You got charisma flowing out of you. LA Knight has that. He has charisma flowing out of him. No one's saying anything about his moveset or carrying across the moveset. Yet charisma flowing out of them. So you need to put these guys in the right setting. And that's what they're doing with LA Knight. They're putting him in the right setting. In skits, segments, promo packages. He shines there. I don't think LA Knight has had a match in the ring for real anyway. I think there's a tag team match this week. And, no one's really clamoring for an LA Knight singles match because he's not really that good. I saw him in Impact Wrestling. He's not really that good. He's just really good at getting the crowd hype. which is a good thing. But more or less, this guy's specialty is not exactly, doing like the Johnny Gargano stuff there. He's not a technical guy, but he's good for what he is. He shines in the promo segments, and they've been doing that on NXT a lot. So, I think that for the future, they need to be looking at charisma more than the whole height thing, or the age thing. A good-looking guy who has charisma can go a long way. You don't have to be that tall to be a charismatic guy. Daniel Bryan's not that tall. Rey Mysterio's not that tall. That kind of stuff. The Johnny Gargano's not that tall. But they command a crowd, which is something very difficult to do, even if you're 7 feet tall or whatever. You don't see Shanky getting the crowd over or Omos getting the crowd over, do you? It took a while for Braun Strowman to get the crowd over. It all depends on who the character is and what they're doing. They can get the crowd over. I mean, like it's a skill. Skill you have to learn. You can't just go out there and just do it because you're tall and good looking. It doesn't work that way. So you have to understand that this is going to be a quote unquote marathon, not a sprint, because there's not many guys out there, girls too, that can command a crowd with their moveset alone. It's not going to be that simple. And this is a very strict edict. That means scouts will have to be on the lookout all the time for people that have the it factor immediately, which is it's difficult because I know WWE likes to pluck people who are already over and bring them in, and that'll be hard for companies to do. To push somebody and then bring them in. So Ace Austin in Impact Wrestling, he's not been doing a lot over there as of late. So and he's pretty young too, and he has that it factor. He has, I think, everything that they want in a character. He has everything they want. However, except he does not have fights. He's an X Division guy. He's on the smaller side there. He has a great looking physical. He has great looking physical condition. He has charisma flowing off the body. He has everything except for the height thing. He's like Adam Cole per se. He has everything. Maybe that's why WWE doesn't want him, because he wasn't blessed with height or whatever. But the thing is, there's a guy that just released there called Alex Zane. Alex Zane looks a lot like Ace Austin, but he has the height. Same body, just taller, but this guy doesn't have charisma. He just said same crazy moveset that Ace Austin has, but he doesn't have the charisma or the attitude that Ace Austin has. So he didn't have every single thing, which is why they let him go. So that's weird. They need every single thing in order to not be let go. So there's quite a lot of people on the roster still that have who are still there who don't have this stuff there. I'm sure Drew Gulak is on the screen. I'm sure Drew Gulak is not tall. I'm sure he's over 30. He's not particularly the best looking guy for the box office. His movesets are pretty good. He's like a submission kind of guy. So why is he still there? Why is Akira Tozawa still there? Why is Titus O'Neil still there? So there's still people there that do not tick these boxes, but they're still there. That's weird to me. Why is Lucha House Party still there? So yeah, it's weird. This edict doesn't make sense. It's a hypocrisy in a lot of cases. So that's it for now. Black off.